Hello everybody, my name is Blake from Zero Latency Holland and I am back with another track guide for this week's Racing League. This week we are running the 2018 Honda Civic Type R, so it's a very fun car to drive and we're driving it around Sportsland Sugo. If you've never heard of that track, it's okay, it's a little track in Japan. So let's go corner by corner, I'll show you how I take it and then we'll show off a lap at real racing speed. So, starting the lap on the pit straight here, you would probably be in 6th gear, and I usually, let me just stop right here and try to show off the braking point from here. So those lights on the left, I use that as a reference, but I go past it. I pretty much go in between those lights and the end of this extra space over here on the left. You can kind of see where it ends up there. So that's kind of the best I could describe it. So somewhere around here. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing really around it, so took a little bit of getting used to for sure. But you're hard on the brakes, down into 3rd gear for turn 1, and you're just gonna cut in on the inside, let it walk to the outside, and then you're just gonna little stab of the brakes before you cut into turn 2. Pretty simple corner, no downshifting or anything. I usually just keep it to the right. After that sign on the right, I give it another little stab of the brakes there. Just hold it in 3rd, no reason to downshift. And another kind of standard corner here. And then next turn's coming up nice and fast, so I brake right at that 50-meter board there. And I usually hold it in 3rd, sometimes I'll go down to 2nd. It's a bit of a tight corner, and it goes on for a bit longer than it looks like it should. But you just cut in, let it walk out to the left, or to the right I mean, and then you're going to be cutting to the left. I usually just lift off the gas, no need to brake into this chicane here, and take a bunch of curb, but of course you see where it rises up on the insides there. Don't hit those obviously, but these primary curbs are fine to hit. I usually just flat out on the gas for the second element of that chicane. Going up the hill here, usually brake right at that 50-meter board once again, and just cut into this one, 3rd gear, not a problem. And once again right at that sign on the left, stab of the brakes. This one's a bit tight, it's a little off camber, you're going downhill on the exit, so sometimes I find I need to go to 2nd, but most of the time just holding in 3rd. And then we finally get to hold the gas down as we're charging down the hill on the back straight. And there are some signs on the left here that I use for my braking reference. You can see them there on the left. At speed, it's very difficult to actually read them, but I use the second to last one here, and I usually brake at or maybe right before it. I guess that's the 100-meter board. I never really stopped to take a look at what I actually said. And once again, just holding it in 3rd gear, keeping it to the inside for this corner. It's a bit long, but it's wide enough. You don't really need to take it super slow or anything. Right after the 50-meter board here, I brake, and just holding in 3rd once again, cutting into the left. And then well past this board here, usually like a whole car length after it, I hit the brakes again, cut in. This one kind of opens up on the exit, so you can carry a lot of speed through. And we are already on the final corner of the track. Now this one is pretty difficult, so I find myself usually in 4th gear, and as I'm going into it, I very lightly hold the brake pedal down pretty much the whole way through until it gets slowed down. Too much braking and you're going to understeer off. Not enough braking, you're going to carry in too much speed. And as I'm going through the corner, just very lightly holding down the gas. It'll be pretty easy to walk it a bit wide, so I just kind of lift off whenever I feel that happen. There's some bumps that I just ran over that'll be a lot more pronounced at speed. And then once we finally get to the end there, just gas pedal all the way down, charging up the hill, and that brings us back to the pit straight. So pretty rapid fire corners, but none of them are particularly difficult, so I don't think it'll be too difficult to get a lap together. So that completes the lap there. We're back to turn 1, so that'll do it for the corner by corner analysis. So let's take a look at what it looks like in real racing speed. Alright, I've just crested the hill to start my lap, in between the light and the end of the extra space there on the left. Down into 3rd. Nicely hooked up there. A little stab of the brakes as we go into turn 2, just keeping it in 3rd. And right after my front bumper clears that sign, a little stab of the brakes again. Slow us down for the next corner. And then right at that 50-meter board, braking down into 3rd. Just hug the inside. Track opens up a little bit on the exit, and just lift off the gas, let the car float itself into the chicane. Once you've cleared the first element, just flat on the gas once again, right at that 50-meter board. Brake down into third. Beautiful there. And another quick stab of the brakes right at that sign. Just hug the inside here. Not much grip on an off-camber corner. And now we're finally charging down the hill. And we're going to be looking for those signs on the left. The second to last one's what I'm looking for. I brake right before it. There we go. And down into third. Beautifully done. And right after that 50-meter board, quick stab of the brakes down into third. Wonderful. And well past this board. Another stab of the brakes, carrying some speed through this one. Up to the final corner now. It's pretty tricky, like I said, so just a little bit of braking to slow us down. Through the corner, perfect, and just hold the gas a little bit to keep our speed up. And it's going to be drifting us wide. There we go, perfectly done. Now we're on the exit, flat on the gas as we charge up the hill. And back onto the pit straight. Finish line's a little late here. Coming up to it now. There we go. Well, that does it for my track guide for the Honda Civic Type R around Sportsland Sugo. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you show up for Race League night.